Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, o see them yopo.
No. Good. Say BBI boko there.
Oh, nyamiadom. Happy New Year so.
Thank you.
Say official this our first time.
Time Asia.
Na ya share your telephone nyina so.
Yeah.
Na mo bia happy New Year.
Good. Many happy returns.
Yeah. Use the opportunity is na me wish your father saying Mr. KKD. Happy New Year.
Oh, question change that kwa.
Ardent your friend saying of this particular program
the finest. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's good. I pay my but news. When your news they say immigration and customs enforcement in the USA. One of answer can Eura Ken Ofori Atta Madwano. Me call Madwana I say one watching or say in Clata Sem won visa wuni at the now secret on to member on one chrome. And she says, when you say news, no?
Yeah. I think that was detention almost by 3 days in
yeah.
On that them. I say we joining me I want to say. And when nature is pursuing you you cannot hide.
You cannot hide.
And a basaya. I'm not sure say you will be any jet. But anyway, time say Obia will rise to such a higher political prominence. The pinnacle, he was sitting at the top, very powerful, untouchable. No parliament, so they put the crown bag.
Yeah,
our cover, and today quickly no one morph into a fugitive. Our no one the motherland, no mama free her, no papa free her say, or your finance minister Okroma, the Krum, on to member Adentia. Because of a bravo bonny or boy. And now, while I'll stay in a visa in America, Donald Trump by there is a crackdown on individuals. Winning visa or visa winning them all. According and run the lawyers issue statement trying to do the because America is shiao, not say who stay illegally. According to Donald Trump new you'll be kept at a detention center until Niamabekoye, then if possible they will deport you. But you see, and convey good message. Because Obia Africa, Ghana former minister, finance minister has been detained. And there are no we are say. Ugu Wedimase in this particular way.
Too bad.
And detention center na continue acquire and cast away a former minister. And some of the detention center na Donald Trump and some are inhumane. I say we are for your do shema. When it will be our prison be what has happened American so I think that is very embarrassing. Or Bahabe no and can we be a name. And it is very shameful when people sit on TV and seek to justify why Kenofurata shouldn't come say Oba and this or Oba. This is Obi Awaya finance minister of this country. I manage the economy of this country. Every single financial transaction, financial engineering be a course within the last 8 years. He was there, your friend is the master. Not he was signing document, borrowing as a form. Obian Kasawaya Bonnet, you've been accused. And the whole thing is come.
But you are no keke.
And that is it.
But you are not.
John Mahama's government and Abaya, your friends, a tyrannical because Oba. You bet found it, walk across a prison, you knew as a president Kufa no crown and Kruma, Ubianche, but Umiana number. So, what is it that people are concluding? So, Oba, oh, you're fair hearing, Ben. Ghana is not a banana republic. Kenuforiata Bar, Obian who about Bandon and Nakosha prison. Branabe, you are no accepting saying and that year, you have your fans access to counsel. As I'm not court, now you dinner with the Bema. Another day you go your way, you understand? But to say, Mano, if that give credence to the fact,
it means a BB.
Exactly, you are guilty.
Ko Bible say akoma muti en nsra fodie.
Yes.
Anti brana wo se wo ma na Trump so say crampo on this illegal one. And bra say wo hwe ya Minneapolis, Minnesota. They shoot a 37-year-old woman be crime and
yeah. Clash a coso. I don't know. He's not backing down on some of this immigration illegal status and to be caught in the center of this whole thing. It's really embarrassing. Maybe people don't see. And who quickly his lawyers came up with a statement, so they are working whatever just to ensure say that is the fact. And it's really embarrassing. Sending very terrible signals around. And they're not affirming that near my wife no coma say yes brabe you are fighting the system, and the system now ultima will fighting you don't have legal status. While spy your friend is saying visa what and what is the essence? So for me I think that yes bonne be kuma bonne for And eno ho sunsan so na wanyanyi. This whole thing no kra no your friend saying how embarrassing this whole thing sounds. For me, omo mutu no fosa manemba no. Ono ankasa na mena na otu. Come ankasa Kenoforata, as long as he stay outside this country, no. Ono ankasa na mena na otu, because in the future if you don't come, people are going to make references to the fact that oh papa be boa brabo na obi na kwatena obi man so and okowu obi man so and whole lot of way ebeba. If you know you are not guilty, I'm not sure there is anything that prevents him from coming. So no there, I think that he's ignored and they all deserve one awanyano. And I am not sure say anybody can argue otherwise because obaye ebeyi na no ebi akra anka sa niema we nyina. You could have come here to renew his visa and then go back. You understand? So this whole thing no they up to the same na ye kano. Amamu no ye de sha wonsa. Men yes na me wo faseni na me nanani na man. You look for quality competent individuals who were tested, tried and tested. Your fans say track record. Kenoforata by from day one he demonstrated nothing but sincere incompetence. And some kind of way be say yaba yen use the financial system no na yen get some people out. Look at what he did to Papa Kwesi Indium. Look at how I collapse among for financial businesses in Nasifo Okroma say all because of this particular gentleman. Now we yes I near we na brabe you are now so remember you are no now osu nipa ne say what I say it's not as if say oh yeah near market near man na oh yeah no there were damning long lasting financial consequences and impact on some individuals. Look at Papa Kwesi Indium, a businessman or transforming you into a kaura. Papa Kwesi Indium, I'm not sure so waiting me walking on the street of Accra because I'm for back to Anaka Kojo Musika. But if you are not on the year, I'm his bank was triumphant. Look at the way I first saw you in the bank. What I say, but all the financials, even American or Biana every year banks are coming out with liquidity challenges. But the system not designed. A system say whenever the signs begin to emit, then the state will make sure say entity comes in to absorb you. Sabaya, your friends a bank and the customers and then as for them enconquera. But Yahani and Yasaya the Timodin as for good banks. And no day we created a mountain of debt in our quest to take away this bank from the system. Now mine mama baba boka. Now what creating unemployment? Because I say Nyansa Ben what that particular intervention. So for me. Acting second of Orata there, on one amena no to Abrababoni Awabono, and one and an incro so Senechi, admonishing him not to come. And you deserve one when you know.
Also, say, Yadinebeba.
Oh, and an anonymous catcher will be say, you see, he bears the moral responsibility. You see, people tend to blame Attorney General and people who are trying to bring him back. Yes, they have a responsibility, but the ultimate responsibility rests on Kenoforata. As a former finance minister, he holds that moral obligation to the people of this country to come to this country. So that particular thing rested on him. Failure to do so, and among the state, activate other measures and means available just to ensure him, they get him extradited. But I have told you, some of these processes don't just happen. You have to go through a certain process that has been, your friends, outlined. Until you satisfy all the procedure, won't even contaminate financial claims with the neighbor. And those who were making comparison between Abu Trik and boys and my fraud and then as a form, I keep telling people, so you see, the dynamics are quite different. So over here, American extradition, your friends are treated with countries, the templates now, yes, and yeah, with the UK, when the UK and Ghana, UK colony somewhere around 1935. Yes, science, sir, and near Manuel, So we have templates na America the name we are saying crimes na extraditing nipa no similarities they are very difficult military and your friend is political offenses and no it's different from more committed fraud different from obi awako rape obi different from obi awako kunipa the procedure for such extradition are very easy but when it comes to political and military offenses a different ball game altogether. Is the reason why the state is going through this hurdle to get him extradited. But when America comes here and they want to extradite these young people who have engaged in economic kind of fraud, it is not political, it is not military of related offenses. So it is very easy to get them extradited because all you have to do is to present an indictment to court. Court, say there are reasonable grounds because I know the day. Ghana security authorities any investigation America so if there are reasonable grounds and the court has no other option than to grant it per the treaty But when it comes to political extradition and others, it's a different ball. And Debiana Meka, Julian Asana, your friend saying WikiLeaks, or CEO, share, you say Ecuador embassy or UK for how many years? America tried until recently, I think some negotiation went in, and there's Snowden and other people, and there are thousands of examples you can cite when it comes to some of these things. So you see, because the world is very much concerned about political persecution instead of prosecution. So they want to be very sure. Say Nipana. What time na kwa kudi na sem no enye because of political differences enye because e be a time be na what time no enti na wo ba be fa no na mum reasons are very cogent, very reasonable. So you need to provide evidence reliable wo de be kwa koma court no. And when Attorney General said Ofori ta kwa fa your friend is saying good lawyers in the US, people interpreted it to mean say e be a osuro. But you see the fact of the matter is say US Federal Court, Deacon Ofori Asema. Ghana will not even be present to be represented. Ghana, there is no way like Osruntina or can. It was by way of communication because Asema Yekodino, Ghana buying the US versus Ofori are more based on the indictment presented from the higher court and Omudi. So Ghana lawyers will not be there. The Attorney General will not be there. It was by way of, or communicating. The U.S. Justice Department through the federal court, will analyze the Sammy Ghana for their banner. No one who say, and Sammy the so na any political persecution, na abrante na diboni with the krum, and into na yeshano. Okay. Now, Ofori, in line with the principles of natural justice, the accused must be heard, Wouldn't be Nina Sam and deciding the fate without giving him that chance to be heard. Is the reason why Ofori will have a legal representation. So, no, be opportunity, I can represent him. But Ghana na we will not be present to defend ourselves. Is the reason why Oka said the gentleman is determined to prevent his extradition. Wako high big lawyers, knowing that Ghana will not be present in that particular way. So it wasn't like he was afraid. It was a way of communicating to people, said this is what is happening. Because after all, Ghana will not go to court in the US to fight Ofori in the court. It is the US Department of Court. Then subsequent to that, the State Department will have to exercise final discretion as to whether and I have told you, sir, you go through this whole process. Ofori is somebody who is playing I am sick card. When that particular thing is activated, it pushes you to another realm of human rights. It's a very complicated situation. Okay. So it's not like he's the first person to be blamed before any other person. Yes, I know the special prosecutor is not doing anything. His office, for me, I have advocated several occasions. It's not useful. It's useless. Has to be. But before you blame any of these agencies, you first look at Ofori as an agent or as somebody who was given a duty to run the finance ministry of this particular country after engaging in a whole lot of reckless, incompetent decisions. I know the day. A man, this particular economy, a fall here to the ground, He owns that particular, and aside that, there were a lot of criminal activities that the guy perpetrated.
Criminal activities?
Oh, yes.
Like
the cathedral.
Okay.
President Akufo-Addo, your friend say, I didn't say mine sikama, I say I'm fan cathedral without parliamentary approval. Ofori on record, echoed the pen hand into the same consolidated fund, took money for the cathedral project. It was illegal because as a finance minister, you have no right to dip your hand into the consolidated fund without authorization.
And do you think it's without authorization, who can say we na o mampeni na na do dan Akufo-Addo na wonim dada na wonim hoshe?
Oh, na say a state na no mo run Banana Republic autopilot emra nya adwuma. So obi aye de ope. So the president dipped his hand in, no one so dipping a hand in using state money to do these things. Judges dying to go They were just doing things at the behest of their personal twisted emotions without recourse to law, authorization, parliament. They didn't even care about the emotions and the genuine sentiments that were being expressed by Ghanaians. Economy at the time. We needed certain intervention, put to bread and butter on the table for the average Ghanaian. But the government didn't care. They were concerned about Yankosia, sorry, Diamond Yankopon, Yankopon, the Aboniache, Hannah Yankopon, yeah, Bahasi Yankopon Fire Bonnie Mache. We are running governance. Yankopon, the Aboni Bache, a personal level business. What I say? We don't run government, Abayan Fire Bonnie, Yankopon Fire Bonnie in chain. You're born in on the Bacheno. At our personal level, when you go on your knees.
Who told you that was the reason why Channel person?
How can you say Yankopon, the Aboni Bachena, were vetted civil war? The president said that. And some way you am crassem. Because Cote d'Ivoire, the president for 4 boys at the Omaisika, the largest basilica of Cote d'Ivoire. 20 years and Tokwasi Hono, I saw energy or more. What is our sort of GOB? And civil war, Sudan, and as a phone. These are most of the countries, aside being Muslims, are highly populated Christian countries. But a Jew woman, one young near my energy woman, young couple will not save you. God is a very busy person.
Principled God.
He doesn't have time for this nonsense. And the one woman now could this answer who we think and say, young couple will come to your aid. I don't young couple need a money power in the He has time for the sensible. That is why Omaya, they are flourishing and they are advancing. Some don't even believe in God. If you go to Japan, one of the largest atheist community in the world, they believe in they don't believe in God,
but they believe in nature.
Yes, and Okwa Omaya, Omo respecting Nipa. Omo mokrono, Udo Ofun to baby Abakwaba Tua. Those countries no
Asia.
Yes, Asia. Yeah, and they respect people. South Korea, even China, within the country, how they treat each other, and then Japan. Roman said these people have a great deal of respect for human beings. Yana etia dabiana nyamibo na nyamibo no. Bonene niamanye ne di okroma sei. The nyamia kata ni pani na yedi sabi ensem Keno for us to parliament Bible verses no apam quote as if say your friend say bishop of pope of ase. But ensem hunu na ekoso nyina no odi. So I think say we need to get serious in this country. Now you making sure say we do the right thing. Keno for reata edin sabo man sikam. And we want justice for the people of this country. And I keep telling people, say, after 4 years of this John Mahama administration, people are going to ask, that is a simple question. There is no it's as simple as that. That is the only explanation. So Ghanaians are watching. I think the security, the agencies that are charged with the prosecutorial powers in this particular country, will have to do everything possible to ensure the other related cases of corruption, we deal with it swiftly just to ensure we move to the next chapter. Once again, confidence will return. But when all these jokers are masquerading around, trying to twist the narrative to make it look like they are being witch hunted. It's very shameful and very embarrassing when we know the scars of their crimes are quite glaring. Utuwania, Bonnie and Crofo Yadi, and now when Crofo Monam Swats, I did EP on the bay, any pom fast Mumu Kroma. And then people are masquerading running Mahuko upon Chroma Nam TV, so shamefully, just trying to inherit this, your friend saying, economic turnaround the yen. Now, what about the Akumia for 8 good years? If you couldn't implement policies and programs, I bet you within the 8 years, what so ababa kokora the very moment I will hesitate power 6 months after the dividend that is coming you say we a serious person will make it that
I don't know sir ono ne one way can ho na kofa asa GoldBod in Sammy they buy say 214 million Ghana cedis GoldBod Aboka and it's not in the books of GoldBod, it's in the books of the same BOG and then Nasifo. I don't know, but it's a Momoya Mayo for Momoya Amanyosem. GoldBod, for instance, and Pesse a kind and so Kakrane Fea, but TC, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the 1 year. GoldBod is a move for
GoldBod issue, I think, you see, the government has been running for almost 1 year, and goodwill is still there. And so far, the expectations of Ghanaians, like economic instability and facing, things are really stabilizing. And in terms of corruption and so forth, there is not much to say. So when this GoldBod thing came, people saw an opportunity. So, okay, then let us capitalize on this particular thing and drum home a certain sentiment, say, Abayano is corrupt, and I say, Yabo Mayaka. When in reality, if you look at the fact available now, that is not the case. because there is nowhere IMF as stated say GoldBod a cotton gold aboka. And so we tie kwajo upon kroma press conference na oyeda. He was communicating to the people say GoldBod a cotton gold aboka. Now no bisa question say why na ton gold boka. That is a lie. And you see, and that is intellectual dishonesty on his part because 2022 when Dr. Baumia came out with this, your friend is saying gold for oil, but my main why that particular policy came. You see, the catcher say Kenoforata by a finance, the same Kenoforata is Kenoforata by a finance minister. Then he started borrowing foolishly around. We said it because in a year he will go for 2.5 billion, 3 billion euro bond because we had access. The guy was just abusing Ghana's access to the international credit space. And he was foolishly floating. Or borrow Sika. Sika no ba kromano. We could not tell say when he had the
foolish like is it not too high?
No. It's I no cry to four because look at how this particular the people suffered in this particular country and look at the consequences. No. It's just
to put euphemism in.
No. It's a description of how the situation was. It was a very desperate situation. There is no better way to describe the situation than the way
the foolish.
No. That is how he borrowed. Is the reason why the consequences were so the way we saw it. It was like that because we didn't sorry makoba bosia. Oba no ba kenke party sika na ehwa yehu na wasia kobobe no ato agum. The economy now was so good sika ba begum no. Economy is sinking to a point that after borrowing you go and the international creditor will tell you so you are lying. The numbers you are putting to us, no, you are cooking the numbers, and for that matter, you retail junk and you're foolish borrowing there. So that is how to justify it. So the thing is, boss abusian in area, you call credit space in 2022, say you bobusia, and I'm here books. No. You guys, more credit worthy because economy no any good standing. Say busian na mobono, muntimintuya. So they denied us that particular money that particular year. Then because we had no other option. Because now the only source and that through that borrowing and borrow no. So there is no money coming. So Abani decided say mean to me then what should I do? They maintaining me home to the domestic space. Now Ghana for now we sika we investment or banks and then as for no. That is why the DDEP came in. And the amount for Mudo Musika commercial bank, or Mudo Musika come away, investment in Yinano, that government a borrow Sassican in Yana, and a time Nana and Dasuse, when Sabakan Sicano, or renew Yaduko anymore. And Namsuma Nipa bring your moo, Kromase, and then I'm a foreign for a demonstration for the first time in this country. So Sicano borrow Kromano, a cities. What are some American? A cities. You need $. Then what do you do? Dollar the only source. Cocoa board na never make sikano. Cocoa board no yada kobo bosian boka to the sense that aban no be free so na yada 400,000 tons of cocoa. Yada ka yadi hu sika. So there was no way we were going to get foreign exchange. Then aban say okay, ye here oil. I see if that is the case there, then yan sha say they accumulate gold. Our Bank of Ghana reserve. Say ya yebetumi ya reserve no yebenya bibi wo ho. Na I'm saying you need $. You de kwakoto gold nti no. You de gold no. Be kwa abonten kwa kwaje oil, which was a lie. Because what they were doing is omo the gold no kwa abonten, omo koton na omo discount to oil, no omo de aba. I know the day when the proper auditing were done. The first year no almost started that particular project 2023 no. Omo boka 2.15 billion Ghana cedis.
2.15
billion Ghana cedis. Yes. Then the following year, 2024, Omoboka 4.8 billion. Oh, she man will be some. Sako job on Chromas will be a cotton gold aboka. Ye na, Omode yasa, your friend saying G for O, G for your friend saying raise R no. Omobo na me that 2 years in 2023, 2024, Omoboka almost 7 billion Ghana cedis. That was the whole package. And this are buying by. Was it lack of proper management and assessing? I said they are not even ready to tell people what happened. And and you see, one significant thing I say, I say, projects in our year, no, what you mean? Projects in our year, no, now a policy option, yes, sir. Makato said, now you foreign exchange. So we needed money to come into the system. Side initiative no more they could not bring anything to this particular country to show up the defense the city. It's the reason why city consistently falling. City fall to the extent that at the end of the year it lost value by almost 27%. So it means that policy drive no more the bar say you go for oil, show up the city that particular thing did not succeed. The first year, the second year, because these 2 years na dollar ni city your friends say city fall 2023, fall 2024, and the records are there to show. Yeah. So it is quite funny for Kojo Okonkroma to be running around, throwing his weight around, say they did this, they started. The project they undertook, did not bring any benefit aside say airborne or mine cost 7 billion Ghana cedis within the 2 years. And then aside that, the policy objective just to ensure say you foreign exchange, sika no ba kroma say. Ye ne ba ye ho so na gold kakra na ye wo no. Na according to your friend saying Al Jazeera investigation on moye no kwabrane any aban kabom SSI ye gold carbon tin koton, they keep the money in an offshore account. That is what they were doing. Is the reason why they could not get money foreign way abeba kroma ebetimi stabilize the city. So by the time aban exert power now dollar no almost 17, 16 and a drop about 15. And sana your friend is saying aban no free so the intervention they brought did not bring any value to the people of this country. Then John Mahama came up with the GoldBod concept. The GoldBod concept, and they say gold that you produce from your friends saying small scale way over the years per Alistair Matthias and Akufo-Addo example no say amamfo wia koton sika no kwa emma. And there are other agencies that were responsible for exporting gold. Sikano nipono cotton the gold no the copper or the sikano bakruma. And let us come out with a regulation just like the cocoa board. Cocoa board is the only agency that can sell cocoa in this country. We are individual with even for cocoa and good ship cotton. It is only cocoa board. And the gold no so yanya sa. Now you're making sure say your cotton the money will come back to the central bank. So that was the idea. So it was nothing and this project no more the buy say cotton gold and as you keep it in a reserve Okay. That was the different thing. So this whole thing say you create a central body. All the gold are free the small scale sector and they are even buying from the larger scale about 9 of the your friends saying large scale mining companies, they buy about 25% of the gold that they produce. Okay. So I just say it's a large scale business. All the golds now will be aggregated and come to a central pool, which is GoldBod. And then that gold, aside Bank of Ghana, and I'm saying the previous PMMC what initiative been to those that are supposed to go to the reserve will go, and then the chunk of the gold that has been accumulated will go to the international market. To be sold. And then the profit or your friends say the returns will come back to this country in the form of what? Dollars. That is why Sammy Jamfi is telling you within this last 8 months, he has brought back to this country $10 billion. Okay. In the history of this country, I don't remember the last time an agency, an entity in such a short period. It's $10 billion. And when you have forests in excess in that particular regard, I know the day, it means we'll reserve whatever you need per the IMF initiative now. The amount of your friends say we reserve, we have exceeded that. Then central bank has a lot of the cash. What do? Then you need to give some to the your friends say commercial banks because a $100 you go to the commercial bank. So commercial banks need dollar and the dollar boy the amount for kwabuchi hono. Okay. So they have it in excess. So what they were doing is they were rather selling the dollar. Into a moment say buying this cash we a carbon and ya cabo. Bank of Ghana and ya charity organization or dollar or ton. Okay. So they sell the dollar in excess to the commercial banks and they take out the cedi or any other valuable equivalent. Bank of Ghana bet me a keepo. Sabaya or Musubenya access. And when the commercial banks get access to dollars, then it stabilizes the currency. Okay. When you go to bank na win your beer, and a man boy do and this amount to be commercial banks and I it will be stable. It's the reason why you see this particular stability. And this stability abano abwayan ama a car yadi wabonting a swati almost 100 billion Ghana cedis because the car, external component of our debt because see it in dollars. It is $1 not yaba forma. see the obesisa and sana what they as change in terms of 15 cities. About kakra and until your debt to your GDP, I drop it to 45%. A year historical because we anticipated say you may achieve that in somewhere 2035 2030. But here we are within a short period that has been achieved. So I just said the GoldBod intervention, you know, even though make the activities of PMMC, but it's a new design, a new arrangement with a new objective altogether. It is not about hoarding gold for reserve or hoarding gold to go and buy gold, but a central pooler, about making sure say there is an inflow of forex into this country, and that is the clear objective, and that has been achieved. It's the reason why Fitch, one of the credible rating agencies, projected say Ghana will end this year. You see the number saying, also saying 15.5%, 15.5. Yeah, and they're saying 10.45. That particular projection has been thrown off bar, because there is an inflow of cash into this country because of the intervention that has been set in motion.
So, if I understand you perfectly, the moment GoldBod ceases to operate,
yes,
we may even go back.
So once we give that particular mandate to amount for some cotton gold, then amount for gold, no sikano makroma. Because the private person cotton the gold or the Scalaba Ghana, they've created offshore accounts somewhere, and some of the people who buy gold, and your musika, entities and individuals living outside, and borrow amount for, they buy, so the money goes directly to them. So you want to have resources, but you are not getting anything out of it, you understand? So the GoldBod intervention is to be there as a central pool, about aggregating all the gold, sell it, and the money comes back to this particular country. And in economy, when money is returned, the forex in a return here, what to stabilize the economy, because you see, the dollar is a running currency. As long as you don't have it, a create problem, a shortage will create a problem for you, and you need to intervene. But as long as we have access to forex, the entire call IMF say, so at the time I made describe the situation in China, there was nowhere you been forest will come because international market, you're blacklisted. Wouldn't mean come baby we na bought a brobusian from ECOWAS. Actually, how dead the situation is. Then we had no other option than to go to IMF for how much? $3 billion. $3 billion, hoping say it will stabilize the economy. And on time for boom. Or the $375 million, not the amount. Now Ghana kakraka that with $275 million in terms of the bad end it couldn't stabilize the economy. So within this 8 years, within this 8 months to 9 months, if a certain $10 billion has been injected into this particular economy, I think that is something that has to be celebrated, and it's the reason why the economy has become stable. And then with the IMF issue now, IMF Jumana said. You know more arrangements. This how do you call it? IMF deal na make no. They have a benchmark. The amount. Say the one mawa. They need to make sure say you take all the benchmark no the amount because IMF person would seek amount. Nobody will know this kind of thing. So this kind of mawa not the book at home or take it. So what we know or review sikano acquire the wire. And the overview of the economy. Then they came up with certain remarks. So we have GoldBod, a Bank of Ghana interventions now, or you're selling gold and the way now. Fees are omutiama off-takers and then I say for them, okay, can you know, I created a debt of $214 million. And I have told you, sir, if you look at the trajectory, because the policy design wasn't meant for profit. It was meant to stabilize the economy by making sure that you talk gold at whatever price, and that is why the spot price came in. Say you talk, you bet me a BT competition because at the time, now there wasn't anything like that monopoly. An agency never thought. So you have to go there and compete. So you need to pay a proper price in as for them. So these things were in place just to ensure that we have access to the gold. So if you look at the trajectory, because it wasn't a profit-oriented kind of initiative in Tino, the government was ready to get the gold, make sure say acquire forest remember or maimuha. So it wasn't profit. But the other side of GoldBod operations, and no more rather you look at the larger economic benefit of it. sad evidence no ever. So GoldBod was never mentioned in the equation, but rather no, and I'm saying business no on the Bank of Ghana na definitely a reference will be made to GoldBod, but and yet the GoldBod finances na ya audit. You have IMF or the GoldBod, you have the finances. Need business dealings everything with the Bank of Ghana, and it ends there. But because of cheap politics, people quickly to snoop in Sammy because none no thing. And some people will say, "Oh, MPP were opposition, the other year, and I'm saying, he was speaking to fact, and if he says something, GoldBod na ya the bonia. You can bring it up for us to debate, but you can't just manufacture lies and insert on him say because or ye went, ye can be a good so. Yam fan to chill my baby. So, Kojo upon Chroma press conference no. He lied to the people of this country. It's the reason why from day one. So one monitor now. He doesn't do debate.
Yeah.
He's avoiding everything. He's avoiding everything. He doesn't want to debate anybody. And all he does is Okwatana on the TV host and a debate. Now on the radio station host on one kasa na church He does because he knows he's carrying a pack of lies on them. And when he's subjected to straight proof, he cannot one of the platforms. Yeah. We are not done. You see, me say you have no credibility because the track record that Edda for the past 8 years I demonstrated quite clearly said the economy was handed to you. You could not come out with any pragmatic measures. It destabilizes the economy. John Mahama by within 1 year. Some of the signs are quite obvious. And it is not because of anything. It is because of some of these bold initiatives that have been set in motion.
Okay. John Mahama by 1 year, and you might be brain, I done it, and everybody did go. Was IMF, young IMF, be crying IMF, BM. That sounds good. It's a good news. But I was saying, ma, mendane me hombra, me ba, mene Ivan. Innocent, Che, and Twaso, and Anope. And Ivan, my young share Mohammed's 1 year. Yeah, 1 year. Yeah, in office.
I think that be a mechanic. We in the Padasani. Na opese uhuse watumpon wa braboma. You need to look back. Now we share baby and rather wujina. And this all had distance between and rather be a wujina. Now we had distance maybe a wujina and na. That is the within that line, and I'll bet me a track is a what to pon, I won't to pon. Or you cannot just stand on and because my improve. And what is the yardstick? I would assess it. So always and always, you look at where you were and you look at where you are. The difference now will tell you what our progress and our progress here. And I keep telling people, say, na yenina and some Okroma saying. The only reason I cool and see what Ghana and say. Ghana for we seem sabi ye near be kakra ayet near masse. We had hopes elections eba and young hold on na young kotuaba na use the democratic tool young fun to a rather than say be cool because so we have all the indicators, the statistics and the economic numbers are influencing among for more cool around the world at a time in the sub-regional. Na Ghana yet tepe ahead of all of them. Because the situation here was quite worse. Na air cost Okroma. But Ghana forced so much, and these things were quite clear because in the first Makatro said we were locked out of the commercial space. Corruption was so pervasive and so.
Of self, we recommit ourselves to governance anchored in integrity, competence, and compassion. We recommit ourselves to listening, especially to the voices of our vulnerable, our youth, and those who feel excluded.
And then within the media space, so the situation in this country is more like a jungle, like a banana republic, a certain despotic leader bit one here now one part was in the media men who were chased out, media men who were arrested on countless occasions, those who were assaulted, those who were hounded, intimidated, whole lot of stuff. So that was the state of play. So John Mahama sold a message of hope and revival to the people of this country. Say, I've been there before as president. Give me that particular chance. When I come, I will turn the tables around. That promise, fell on the right side of Ghanaians. They believed and gave him an overwhelming power and authority. So if this thing has been given to you, you cannot. Your friend say, "Won't mean good dependent." You have no other option than to deliver on the mandate. And from day one up to now, I think he's lived up to expectation, within my expectation. Because first of all, we were talking about the large size of government, which Akufo-Addo justifies. So, Ajumano Dawson, and to making sure say Nipa Nabe Dawson, he ended up being the most useless government in the history of this country, and the record are quite clear. Oba, he told the people, say, "I'll cut down the size of government," and truly he did it. By cutting down the size of government to a number, Ghana for can appreciate, say, we can use, your friend said, that the small numbers to do efficient job. Because in modern governance, it is not about the large scale number.
Ministers, yes, 60 or 66.
Yeah, the numbers, I think that there's still one that is still needed. What I said. So, efficiency is the key to here in this particular way. He lived a particular promise by making sure to cut down the size of government. And then, when it comes to judicious use of state fund, he has been very critical about that, making sure say my Sika will not go to foolish enterprises like the cathedral and American one, but rather monies will be given to areas the critical infrastructure revival of this particular country is the reason why what can up with the initiative say Accra to Kumasi is the busiest road of on my way. I connected the other side. So we cannot be using this road that the BID warning us forever. So the express road concept comes in. And that particular thing is ongoing operations and everything regarding it. So don't you think it's going to open up this particular country? And again, let's come to the economic space. The challenge for every Ghanaian, Mema ebia ba ho na makwa akwaje pensioners omudo musika ya investments or akwaje abanse mafa John Mahama by the first thing he did he said EDEP owners he paid them the city because you see and these things don't just happen oba yana the your friends the Public Financial Management Act omo amende ye na okreti CD denominated your friends a sinking fund and okreti dollar denominated sinking fund making sure say dollar you keep dollar here, we keep cedi here because Eurobond we own the money in dollars and then the DEP is in cedis. That is why Emerano so ya this year Eurobond sikana kenofora tutuko animu na yentua no Emerano nuru nano ana your friends finance minister kukutu ya sikano and they omo domestic bond holders on 2 occasions they've been paid 19 billion Ghana cedis. And then when it comes to Eurobond, so far we've paid about $1.4 billion dollars to amount for. As sure as a default, now you default on our debt, Government is not defaulting this time around. He's rather paying debt you only to amount for. And that once again is bringing confidence back to investors. Say, oh, mine, and your money there can be. Now you're two about for amount for Chelsea or fire can't. Now, government is being responsible and paying our debt because a certain deliberate initiative now has been activated and the government is being pragmatic, making sure we settle our debt. And until then, the credible rating agencies now more rating Ghana junk, all of them have once again come back to rewrite their books about Ghana, making Ghana credit worthy. And if you look at the economic outlook, that is the reason why the president can confidently tell you, barring all other way be Ghana will not return to IMF because we don't need IMF to give us 3 billion on our own. We can generate 10 billion within 10 months. It doesn't make sense. So it's about being pragmatic, and that is what John Mahama has put in place. So this initiative, because of that, inflation, we project as by the end of the year, it was going to end somewhere around 8. Yanka say a projection, you defy that particular projection, and then we have performed that particular projection to almost 6 to 5, and we this particular year. Ghana City, before John Mahama Airbano, Bloomberg rated the currency to be one of the most useless currencies in the world because among 144 countries, the only country Ghana city the Russian ruble, even the Kwacha Kurana, one of the most useless currencies around the world, the Zambian Kwacha. Yes, a Ghana. But the same Bloomberg came back in the middle of this year and said, Ghana city is the best performing currency in the whole of the world. Per the ratings, and that didn't just end there. Are you aware, since 1994, since a Bloomberg share analyze currencies or the Ghana can no. This year, the year Ghana, yes, cedi no, I record an appreciable gain of 41%. It been seen that in the history of this particular country. Correct. And you think it's by accident. So if somebody sees someone and tells you, John Mahama here, then I don't know the kind of numbers, the figures, and whatever that he's reading from. Petro and I'm for Tono Kroma say, because of the same currency, now Tony saying, now we talk Petro saying almost 22 to 20 to almost way. And at the pump, it's either 10 cedis or 11 cedis. And it's been hovering around that particular figure. No. CD, dollar, and I'm 10.45, 10.55 this year. No. So these are the key indicators. My economy is stable. And it's the reason why investors' confidence have returned. And people are saying, Ghana economy is rebounding. It is not rebounding because of certain initiatives we did in the past. It is rebounding because of pragmatic economic measures that has been adopted by the government of the day.
But people is saying, and I
make us say it's funny and it's a joke. Say, Ubatena kumya so 8 years. Na wode and she be go akwemu. Na wode adimguasia be free abaimu akofie. 8 years no, never na wodi go akwan e bia no e wakema and you must be a magician. 8 years, all the measures e go akwan none work to your favor. By the very moment you exited power, then 2 months after, and 8 years, your friend is saying intervention, I feel a swung about my buying beer. Then it means that one can the government was a useless government. Don't lie. This is a government this is a party a lose credibility. And they have nothing to tell the people of this country. So they need to struggle to inherit the credit. Sebaya Manfo will cut them some slack. Because MPP is in the phase of trying to rebuild credibility for itself. And where are they going to draw the inspiration from? They need to fight for glory in instances like this. In one breath, they are telling you, Sammy them cotton good aboka. In one breath, the Athens of our business has turned the economy around. The same person is taking credit now. Because Sammy them behind the tongue good boka. But the dividends are turning the economy now around the idea. What's a initiative? You have credit amount. Are you a serious person? So I'm saying they are just advertising nothing but you saw intellectual dishonesty. And I'm sure no serious-minded person will take them serious. It's the reason why they are unable to sit on TV to engage any people in debate. Rather than one casa crafty the figment of his own imagination, good papers are not the name. Then they are debating TV host. What did the judge Yana dying to Quanafe? Nano may obi send a video on the obi or challenging Ukraino, Aqua way. Now, even if you cannot survive the scrutiny of a TV host, how much more may I now wait me a debate on this issue? So I think that we should disregard them.
The next year, Mohammed's 2 years. Where do you see Ghana?
I just hope, sir, you see, the beginning has been very good. But to me, and I want to me and get so comfortable. I think that this should be a pretest. So for your friends, a massive economic takeoff. Our culture said this whole John Mahama 4 years is to build a solid foundation for the new Ghana that is to take off. Because there was a mess. He's in to build the foundation. I remember the new Ghana, I take it off. Now, fortunately for us, the grounds has been stabilized. Then we are looking at what we need to build on. And I think that is where the real job ever started. Job not started, yo. These are free show comedies. You need to lay the foundation. I find that's we sit down. Oh yes.
We are resetting, rebuilding, renewing.
Oh no, we say the economy was shattered. The economy was broken. Hope was shattered. There was no confidence. Nothing. Ghana was in a state of desolation. Nothing was working. And to take it over. I said, "Walk off a bare land." So what do you do? Would be so. And son, I'll buy the way what checking the parameters. And son, I'll be to foundation what to CBS so.
Okay.
So that is what has been done. Now the level has been very where you need to build on. And building on the most critical component will have to be job opportunities for young people.
Okay.
Industries. Then as a forum. Sebaya the gains now because we cannot just rely on gold export for your first currency stability.
Okay.
That is why you need to create alternative by making sure say you build industries and create other means sika na yeso ade kwa abonten koton nema ba no so beti amayen na ya make sure say ye create nyuma okroma amanfo benya bia ye ebedu a point a yenso no ye betimi atam nema kwa abonten koton anya dollars dia ba kroma say what asem na make that is the next phase that transformation na all you know anything I will say or connected the countries around because the hinterlands and the corridors, you know, you need to create that particular thing. Sabaya movement of goods and services and abaya so easy.
Okay.
What me yes ana opinion manano. A bit me ama say usi factory. That's how person unya raw material for whatever to feed it. It will be very easy to transfer goods from BA to wherever you want to.
Okay.
So you need to do all these things. We are now setting up the factories in motion. He has started one BIM Quanta. I had a poultry waiting as a phone. Just imagine that at the way boomia job a bit creative. And your friend said the kind of purpose and the benefit to serve the people of this country.
Okay.
So I think that it's geared toward job creation instead of no kind of for the people of this country. And Ghana is no longer returning to IMF or returning to the international space with a cap in hand, begging people for clemency, those kind of no. We need to take charge of our own destiny, making sure that the resources we have in this country, you know, me turn it to the benefit of the people of this country by making sure say kwabraninko wiesikano na onfan ko gu ne personal account and na onko naive enko ludu with certain foreign interest na yen so amfan ko gu foreign account na omunko ye second for eta we ye wadwana kwatena ba bia ono na so madwunin na mom the money will benefit the people of this country. That is all governance is about. It's about solving the most pressing needs of the people. The vulnerable ones. Sabeya Obia will see hope and have confidence or minor or also a benefit to them. That is the only way to tap into the immense creative potential of young people and everybody to turn the economy around.
Future lawyer Ivan Che Innocent. Mami na was in Nano pay. What will be a new ministry? Mohammed's 1 year in office. Watch in my Nyoma John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana, with me ayenin near or babe yimpo ede account. The Niswa Dihuni Trimupo, and then she say a parent to your pa on in a palm for our palm eye ede abua Ghana. Said ya a bear Ghana bet me a fan into my prefera. And Jano pay Ivan Che Innocent when you mean shroud. Na onye okes.
Dedi kama mamena PENDREAM TV ase. Na so far so good. Say open online portal e wo Ghana. Ah nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.